This lesson we're going to look at sketching parabolas, but instead of sketching the individual coordinates, we're going to look at three main points to do. First one, we're going to work out where it cuts the x-axis, which are called the roots. We're also going to work out where it cuts the y-axis at the end here. And finally, we're going to work out where it starts to turn, which is called the turning point, which is right in the symmetry line, if you like. So when sketching a parabola, those are the three main points you want to do. Now, firstly, to work out where the roots are, that's just solving the quadratic equation. So as before, we use factorising to do that. So this is going to factorise into double brackets. X is at the front, 5 and 1 at the end. Now you need to get the signs right, so it's -5 plus 1 to make the -4 in the middle. Again, if you didn't understand that process, go back and look at the video lessons from the Unit 1. Now, either the first bracket can equal 0, or the second bracket can equal 0. So just like the last lesson, x can be 5 or -1. These are the points where it cuts the x-axis. Now to find out when it starts to turn, it's right in the middle of these 2 points. We'll see that when we draw the graph. But to find the middle of 2 points, you add them both together and half them. So the middle of 5 and -1 is really just 5 add -1 divided by 2. And this will always get the middle of 2 values. 5 and -1 is 4, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the halfway point of this, these 2 bits here, is at 2. But what y value does the turning point have? So if it's going down like that and back up, we're trying to find this bit at the bottom. We're trying to find the y value of it. We've now got it happens at x is 2. Now before, what we did when we had x values, we just fired them in here to get a y value, to create a coordinate. Like when, say, x was 2, you put 2 squared plus 2, and y worked out to be 6. Just do the same thing here. You put the value up in here, so you put 2 in there. So the way that's going to look is f of 2 is 2 squared, take away 4 times 2, take away 5. Just from there, 2 squared, take away 4 times 2, take away 5. Now 2 squared is 4, take away 8 is -4, take away 5 is -9. So the turning point is 2, -9. Now it's a minimum turning point, and how do we know that? Because the x squared is a plus. So positive means you're happy, which is a smiley face, i.e. a minimum turning point. Okay, the last thing to do here is to work out what the y-intercept is. Where does it cut the y-axis? Now, a coordinate in the y-axis is always 0 something, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4. So it cuts the y-axis when x is 0. So basically you do the same thing. I need to find out what the y value is when x is 0. So you put 0 in here. 0 squared, take away 4 times 0, take away 5. And that's just -5. So the y-intercept is 0, -5. So you've got your main points here. You've got this coordinate to plot, this coordinate to plot, and these 2 values here where it cuts the x-axis. And when you do all that, it's going to look like this. There's 5, 0, and -1, 0, your roots. 0 minus 5, that's your y-intercept, where it cuts the y-axis. And there's your minimum turning point down here, 2 minus 9, the value where it starts to turn and go back up, right in the middle where the line of symmetry is. So when asked to draw a parabola in this format here, that's what you need to do. Make sure you label all your coordinates, your x and your y-axis.